Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by A.G. Hines Company. If you are about to start a building project or even just a small do-it-yourself project around your house, turn to A.G. Hines Company for the best materials and for 100 years of expertise to help you use the materials and tools correctly. A.G. Hines Company in downtown Knoxville, right on Hines Street, of course. A.G. Hines Company. Let's welcome in the next member of our panel right down there from WNML AM and FM. We have Josh Ward. Josh, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you. The show's expanding.
It is. We're going to 16. All right, let me run through a little bit of business here for those that haven't seen all this. Texas A&M folks leaked word to the Houston Chronicle this week that Oklahoma and Texas are wanting entry into the SEC. A&M doesn't want this, and they made sure to make that clear when the story broke on their day in Hoover when their athletic director just happened to be there when athletic directors don't normally go to these things. The news that's coming out after yesterday is that A&M, they put up quite a big squawk, but their athletic director made it clear that we're going to be ready if Texas and Oklahoma arrive. They're not going anywhere, but they're not happy, and they want everyone to know it because they were sold a bill of goods when they came in, made some promises, and now those promises are out the window. But they're not going anywhere. They're not going to pull a Texas, if you will, and take their ball and go home. Big 12 is offering Oklahoma, well, they're discussing the possibility of offering Oklahoma and Texas bigger shares of revenue. That's how desperate those other schools are to keep them. They're willing to take Texas and Oklahoma to over $50 million a year while they take less each, which is kind of pitiful. All that said, we'll talk about Texas and Oklahoma next. I want to ask you guys, just from a fan or media standpoint, are you cool with a 16-team conference? People have talked about this coming for a while. Then it went completely silent and blew up this week when nobody was expecting it. Is it too big? Or are you cool with it? Is it fun? Do you like seeing different teams? Where are you just on expansion in general?
Fan side of me, no. Media side of me, no. Next.
Oh, you don't like it regardless of who the
No, I don't
teams
like
are.
any of it.
Oh, okay.
It's terrible. I hate it. This is like not what college football is. I mean, you go back to like the sort of the powerlessness of the NCAA. It's this kind of stuff that college football, that when no one's in charge and there's not a commissioner, this is what happens. Like you see this consolidation of power. You see all this stuff that is bad for the sport. It's bad for rivalries. It's bad for fans. But it's great for the schools because they're going to make more money. It's not. This is what college football is not built to be and is not supposed to be. But no one's in charge, so everyone's acting out of their own interest.
It's what it has become supposed to be. It wasn't what it was supposed to be, but over the last 20 years,
it's terrible.
That's all it is. It's it. There's nothing more to it. It's just money. So,
yeah, and it's hard to watch.
Josh, you in favor of this or no?
Yeah, I'm on board with everybody here. I'm against it. I couldn't even get the sports talk radio benefit in May or June. They did this in Media Days week.
Right?
We had plenty of content. I didn't need it this week. I needed it 2 months ago when things were slower. So, no, I don't like any of it. Congrats on the money that the administrators will make. That doesn't do anything for the fans, and I'm guessing they're not going to pass along to the media either.
Darn it. Although Philip Fulmer may be
tying
away to get it.
He's over there going, need my cut?
Yeah.
Here's my thing. It just eventually, what you watch, what you like, it becomes too unwieldy. Let's say the NFL expanded suddenly to 40 teams. I mean, right now, and I'm not a basketball fan. I don't know if I could sit here and in a minute name all the NBA teams anymore because some of them have moved and so forth. You know, I just think at some point in time it's too much. And if you grew up an SEC fan, you were a fan of certain teams. Okay, you've added in more, that's fine. But it's too much.
My problem with it is, and here's the thing, I would be okay with this. I think it's coming. I would be okay with this depending on schools involved. We'll get into this, but there's one school that's just not a good fit. And I think you're going to pay the price that everyone they're a praying mantis, and you're about to mate with them. You're about to be eaten alive. So good luck. That's what happens to everyone. If this were other teams and it's coming down the road, okay, I can deal with it. Because you can schedule ways that get more, you see these teams more often and that kind of thing. I wouldn't go out and do it myself, but I'm okay with it from that side. The part I don't like is kind of what you mentioned. It's all just money. It has nothing to do with fans. It has nothing to do with the players, and it's about the athlete. No, it isn't. It has nothing to do with the athlete. It's all the cash, and I get that it's a business, but it didn't used to just be a business. one of the things I keep hearing is, well, the Big Ten makes more money. Big Ten schools make a little bit more money than the SEC, and my thought is, so?
Exactly.
So? Those schools
It's never going to be enough.
Those schools have 50,000 undergrad. That means they have bigger alumni bases, bigger enrollment, bigger markets, bigger cities. They're always going to make more money.
Bigger stadiums. Don't say that too loud.
Yeah, they're always going to make more money than the SEC. So how does that, has that gotten them more national championships, more playoff spots? I'm pretty sure it hasn't. So what's the big deal with, well, we can't have them making $3 million more than us a year? To me, that's the most annoying part of it.
It's just never going to be enough.
Right.
You can see it. You're never going to make enough money. You're never going to have enough. And I'm amazed that in 2021, did they not pay attention to the Super League fiasco? Like, fans don't want this. They grew up watching something else.
Yep.
They love college football for reasons. They don't want to see Texas and Ole Miss play every year. They don't want to see, like, these are regional things. People love this sport. They're still going to watch it, but it's just.
I would be more in favor of contracting realignment, moving teams back out.
I'm with him. Bring back the Southwest Conference.
Than expansion for realignment.
Yes.
Yeah.
More segmented rather than less.
The other question is how much money is going to be made. Dennis Dodd of CBS Sports said that each of the SEC schools could jump from $44 million to $60 million in revenue. He didn't give a time frame on that. Folks, I don't see how he does. That's not just TV. Okay, that's him seeing. I'm guessing he's projecting a lot of extra playoff berths because you own college football. But let me show you some numbers, just real simple numbers here. The SEC's new deal with Disney, ESPN and ABC, is going to give them $300 million per year, and that's divided into 15 shares, 14 schools, and then one equal share for the league office. That's $20 million per school annually from ESPN. If Disney offered $100 million more for Texas and Oklahoma, we'll give you $300 million for 14 schools, but we'll give you $100 million for these two. $400 million divided by now 17 shares is $23.5 million. That's a 2% raise off Tennessee's $140 million revenue last year. You're doing all this and risking fans for 2%, a 3% increase? What are you
barely
talking about?
enough to cover the cost of hiring a coach for 2 weeks and then letting him go.
That's right. That's right. Well, they could have had two Kevin Steeles. Yeah. And granted, maybe there are other dollars out there. It would have to be a whole lot of dollars. It would have to be paradigm shifting money for me to do it. But that's not the case with the SEC or most other leagues. When we come back, Oklahoma and Texas appear to be on the fast track, maybe. If so, are those the two right fits for the SEC? Why not? This is going to be the fun part of the show. Come on back.